cannabis growers? You know, how much of this abatement process is based on sort of a retribution from the county?
I mean, here's the thing that I see is the county, they've tried to act like they're embracing cannabis and legalization, and they're going to make it really easy for people and come forward and tell us what you were doing illegally before, and we'll make it easy for you to go legal now. They've been totally the opposite of that. Um, they basically, I think, have always had an issue with cannabis growers. Those pioneers that fought for it and made it legal, and then fought in the courts for their 215 right to grow cannabis on their land. Um, and then legalization, they use that as a tool to somehow regulate your 215 and how much you think you can actually grow. So you went from 1 year being able to grow as much as you needed medically to you can't grow at all. Basically, in their mind, unless you come legal and you give us a big bag of money, right? Give us a big bag of money and sign this paperwork and let us, regulate how you live your life on your land now because you want to go legal. Oh, and everyone else around you that we assume is getting an abatement, so that's proactive for our county. Is that the way that they should have gone around about it? I mean, I don't know about other businesses, but my business is way down. And the only thing I could say is I'm in a little tourist town, so if it wasn't for the tourists coming to town, I wouldn't have business. I would be done.
What's the name of your business?
I have two businesses.
Okay.
I have Lost Coast Adventure Tours, which is a tourism-based business. We guide and shuttle people on the Lost Coast Trail. And I have Mimo Chima Restaurant, which is a restaurant in Shelter Cove. And we cater to a lot of locals, and we cater to a lot of tourists. And I mean, it's funny, I hear that next month there's a Let's Talk Tourism board here, where John Ford's going to be a panel member.
Panelist, yeah.
And I was on two of those Let's Talk Tourism panels, because I'm probably one of the only legit tourism companies, at least in southern Humboldt. I am probably the only legitimate Class A charter company regulated through the Public Utilities Commission in southern Humboldt. I know there was the other guy who specifically was doing cannabis tours. But he's going to be on the tourism? Let's Talk Tourism? These are the guys who screwed it all up with the cannabis tourism and made a specific rule that to do tourism in Humboldt County and go to all these farms that they have now permitted from me, an operator who's already licensed in the state to be able to do that, I need a special Humboldt County tourism license. So me, as the bus who's going to bring the people to the farm and bring the money to the farm, because they need the bus drivers, because legally you can't transport people in the state without that license. Okay? They said I need a special license, and when I had to jump through a bunch of hoops. So every Class A charter company that thought about maybe coming up here said, Sonoma's closer to the Bay Area, and then we got Mendocino, and there's Humboldt. Do we want to go? Nah, it's too complicated.
So far.
Too complicated, too far.
Yeah.
They're making it too hard.
Mendocino has weed.
Emerald Triangle, they're a big part of it.
Right.
They're just as much of a part of it as Humboldt ever was.
Yeah.
So don't go claiming it now like you've done something for the industry, because you haven't. You just put a bunch of handcuffs and roadblocks on the industry. So don't come claiming it now, and let's talk tourism, and I'm sorry, the only thing that planning and building needs to talk tourism is how we're going to fix the road out to Shelter Cove, how we're going to make Garberville viable so a tourist would actually want to stop there. So let's say you can't have a bunch of hobos living in ditches, high on meth, throwing knives and machetes at you when you come to town. Ain't no one going to want to do that, You ain't abating those people, because ain't no money involved in that. But the business owners, let's abate all them. The property owners that pay taxes, let's abate all them. Let's make them grow. Let's make them just swim upstream with a hook in their mouth, and just it's complete annihilation of our economy around here. Whether you are a carpenter, a restaurant owner like myself, a shop owner, whatever, we all depended on our local economy around here. And it took a long time to build, and it got us through a lot of serious problems in the whole country where other people were in recessions or things like that. We weren't. We never were. But we are now. We're in a double dip recession. We lost our industry, and the rest of the country is going into a recession with inflation. So that hasn't even really hit us yet.